Hey there, once again, it's me, Jian Lasala, and welcome to Pageant Talks Season 2. And we have a very, very special guest. I've been dying to interview her and feature her in my YouTube channel. And we've met personally, and you're gonna love her. So let's welcome Beanie 1 representing Cavite, Samantha Panlilio. Hey, Sam.
Hi, Jian. Thanks for having me, and hello to everyone watching right now.
Yeah, she's very pretty in pink, and mind you, we are shooting this late at night, and she's still very fresh. So, Sam, how are you? How are things? How's everything with you?
Good. I mean, it's quite overwhelming, but I'm just very excited that Beanie is back. And wow, there's so many paandars right now, and so I'm just so excited to be a part of this organization. It's so wonderful to be back.
Yeah. And then how does it feel that you're, one of the front runners, or you're in everyone's favorites list?
I didn't even know I was a front runner until like a few days ago, because I really, I don't like checking on those, and like I don't want to label myself as a front runner, because I don't want it to get into my head, or for me to put my expectations lower. So I'm just trying to just be me and just do my best and just do this for me and the people supporting me. So yes, I just want to fight.
And yeah, I met the owner or the admin of your fan page on Instagram, because I tagged them on the national costume review that we did a few weeks back.
Oh,
featuring you, and congratulations. So
thank you so much for that.
Yeah, and then before we move forward to the actual interview, tell us more about the national costume and why was it designed that way? It was so beautiful, Sam.
Oh, thank you. So my designer and I, Clevin Bartolaba, shout out to Clevin if you're watching. Yay! So we actually went around Cavite, and we really wanted to get inspired. And I mean, it just makes sense. Cavite is known for their historical monuments and whatnot. And so, we figured the Philippine Revolution and freedom is best symbolized by an eagle. It is also our national animal, right? So plus the fact that the crown was also inspired by my aunt Myrna Panlilio's crown when she won Beanie. So it really has a lot of meaning, and I'm just so blessed to be able to call that my national costume.
Yeah, and don't you think this is a divine appointment that your aunt is the first Beanie Pilipinas and your candidate number 1?
I know. It's destiny.
Do you feel any pressure that you're the first candidate other than being the niece of the first ever Beanie Pilipinas winner?
Hella pressure, but I'm taking it as good pressure. I mean, at first I was really scared to be Beanie 1. Like a year and a half ago, I was dreading to go first and everything. But now I kind of love it, because, you get to do the moves and you're first to do it. So it's a win-win.
I know, and I know you could do it. Actually, I saw Sam's pasarela at a training at our camp, which is Cagandang Flores. Hi, Tito Rogel. Hello.
Hi.
So we both belong to the same camp, Cagandang Flores. So Sam, are you ready? That was a very long introduction.
Oh, really? So we're both madaldal.
Yeah, I know.
It's okay.
Okay, so are you ready, Sam, to answer the actual questions that I prepared for you in this interview? Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, so number 1, Sam, what makes you special? Tell us more about yourself. Yeah.
What makes me special, I think, is the fact that I was able to be independent at a very young age. Most people don't know, but I actually moved to the US for college all by myself. And I think that really made me the person who I am today. I feel like I've grown so much, and I've also met such amazing people there. So I think that's really what makes me me. The fact that I'm independent, I know how to stand up for myself, and I know how to get the things that I want in life by myself too. And so that's one of the things that I truly value growing up.
And then I'm interested to know, like, what made you decide to move to the US by yourself? Is it because you wanted to pursue a college degree in a particular university, or?
It's kind of just been a family tradition. I would say all of my siblings and my aunt and my dad, they all went to US for college, and then we're also required to come back if you have to help with the family. There's no choice, so I'm back.
And then so having to live in the US, like you've mentioned that you went there for college, what are the most important lessons that you've learned, and what is the difference, studying here or living here as opposed to
Mhm.
living in the US and vice versa?
I think in the US, you really have to do everything for yourself, like every single little thing. And I was able to experience that. And it was such a humbling experience because at the end of the day, you know that you worked hard for this or you got
Right.
that job by yourself.
Mhm.
And, I feel that the biggest difference here, unfortunately, I think is still equality.
Yeah.
One of the things that I loved about the US is that whoever you meet, whether that be a person as a waitress, everyone treats each other equally. And I think
Yeah.
that was such a great value that I learned there. And I hope that one day in the Philippines, there won't be such a divide between those who are more blessed and those who are not. So yeah.
Yeah. So
Financially, I mean.
Yeah, I could actually relate because I'm also a very independent person, and I've never been to the US, but I'm very, very curious of like going there because me and my brothers at church, we wanted to go to Redding in California at the
Already, yeah.
Bethel
Yeah.
School of Supernatural Ministry. So
Yeah.
yeah, Sam, just a quick question. What's interesting, guys, is that before we did this interview, we're supposed to do this interview a week earlier, right, Sam? And then
Yes.
my computer broke down on me. And then Sam revealed to me that she makes codes for computers or for computer
Yes, I do.
programs. Yeah. So Sam, tell us all about it.
Yes, so the degree that I attained at University of California, Irvine is business and computer science. So yeah, guys, I was a hardcore nerd and geek, and I don't know how I graduated with that degree, but mom, we made it. So very proud of that. And so yeah, I used to do codes for apps or hardware codes. And actually till now, when I'm bored, because coding is like a language within itself, but there's a logical part to it too. So it actually also tests your creativity and whatnot. So yeah, I actually practice code like when I'm bored or when I have time. Yeah.
Oh, it's such a rare mix for a beauty queen to be a geek, to be a nerd. But, nonetheless, most of us who actually are, actually have who are public figures actually have a very, very interesting private life. And you being that of you do codes for computer programs. So
yes.
Okay, so Sam, going back to our original questions.
Yes.
Why did you pursue pageantry?
So when tying it back to the questions about the US, when I first moved back after some 2 years of work experience there, I knew that I was going to work for my family business, and it was always kind of a given in my life. And so I decided to do something for myself, challenge myself too. And more importantly, I actually just really wanted to meet amazing women and women who are career driven. And that's what Beanie Beanie is all about, And so that's one of the main reasons why I joined.
And then you actually fit the bill. So just so you know.
There was a screening, guys.
And aside from having a very beautiful face, guys, Sam is very beautiful in person. She has a very nice skin. And so what are you advocating for, Sam? What are you advocating for?
Yes, so I'm an advocate for building sustainable communities in rural parts of the Philippines. But actually, Jian, what's surprising to me, I worked with Habitat for Humanity when I was in high school and also afterwards. So we would build like different infrastructures for people who didn't have basic necessities like food, water, electricity. And what's cool is that I feel like throughout this time period of the pandemic, I feel like my advocacy has grown into something more. And, now because sustainable is a huge word, you can be sustainable in so many different ways, so many different industries and whatnot. So right now I'm focused on agriculture and farming because it just makes sense. You should be sustainable first with an integral part of the human race, which is food. And so, very excited about that.
And I just feel like, the Lord inspired me to ask you this question. What is the most important lesson that you've learned while pursuing the advocacy that you're doing now and previously and currently? I mean, what's the difference? What did you learn?
With my advocacy.
Yeah. What did you learn?
Yes.
Yeah.
So honestly, what I learned is to just be grateful because every time I go to a farm, so if you guys didn't know, unless you haven't seen it on my Instagram stories, I go farming in Cavite every Sunday. So I go to different local farms, organic farms. Guys, it's so fun. You should do it. It's so wholesome and it's just such a great experience. And when you talk to these farmers, they are so generous and they really help out with the community, and they just also have the same goal. And it's so fulfilling to go there and have experience farming and seeing them teach kids, for free. And so one thing I learned is to be grateful, because when you are grateful, you get to project that energy onto other people as well. And you can make a difference in your own little way.
Yeah. And then most of the farmers are actually one of the most underprivileged communities in our society. And talking about that, having to experience them, firsthand, these farmers, what do you realize about poverty in the larger scale of things, being that you are a part of that, advocacy?
I think that poverty is something that we can definitely solve. We just need organization, I think, in not only in governance, but also how we handle like our economic welfare, right? You can solve it. We just need to be more creative, because the Philippines, again, people move to the Philippines because there's so many opportunities.
Exactly.
And every time I go to Cavite or go to farms, I'm like, wow, like you can maximize so much more on these natural resources that we have. And so I think that if people just put their mind to it and get creative, we can definitely beat poverty, or at least, tip the scale the other way.
Yeah, you could actually be the face of the Department of Agriculture. Since you love farming. Well, you could, because like if you could speak about it personally, and you're coming from a very personal space about farming and you enjoy it, so why not? I will declare that over you. You could be very productive in that kind of area. So of course, it's no secret, again, we've mentioned this earlier, that you're the niece of the very first Binibining Pilipinas winner, the late Myrna Panlilio. So what does this mean to you, and what are your fond memories of her?
You know what? With my Tita Myrna, I actually only have one memory of her, which was when she was at my dad's office. So they used to work together also with the family business. Just to clarify, she's my dad's cousin.
Okay.
However, she did pass away when I was 4 or 5 years old. And so I wasn't able to spend as much time with her. But when they announced the top 40 candidates, like last 2020,
approximately about a year ago.
About a year ago, when they announced the top 40, and I had the Samantha Panlilio on there. A lot of Panlilios reached out to me, like from Pampanga, from the US, from Australia, and now we have this big family group chat, and we're all just trying to connect dots. And like I've also met Tita Myrna's kids online and everything, so it's so nice that now we have a Panlilio clan going.
Yeah. And then what kind of impact does this give you, having to have like this lineage of
legacy,
a legacy?
Yeah. Well, I think that more than just good pressure, I think that it makes me more motivated, to represent the Panlilio name after 50 years of no other Panlilio joining any pageant. So I'm very excited.
Yeah. Okay. And because I was actually very curious about your family name when I saw you, and I'm like, did she join a previous pageant, or did you ever join a previous pageant here? No.
This is my first one.
Oh, okay. Now I know. So I'm sorry, guys. Like I always say in my episodes, Sam, that I'm so clueless in pageant history. So well, except for Miss Universe, but yeah, over time you actually forget. So describe your teenage years, and how was it like?
I'm kidding. It's PG-13, y'all.
Wait, you grew up here and then you went to US for college, or you came back and forth from the US?
So I did high school I was here till high school and moved there for college. So 4 years plus 2 to 3 years of working. But I would come back every summer. So I was always in touch with my high school friends. So yeah, one word that would describe my high school experience is that it was fun.
Okay, I won't ask you any further. But we all know what that means.
No, not like that.
Just kidding. No, clean fun. I also had my own fair share of fun in during my teenage years. But I don't know why I asked you this question. But,
No, but honestly, it was fun because I'm still really great friends with my high school friends here. Nothing has changed ever, like even when I came back after so many years. So that's what's fun about it.
Okay, so did you do like cheerleading, or what kind of sports were you a part in?
Yeah, I was in volleyball varsity. You know, if I
Wow.
if I didn't move to the US, I would have been recruited by Ateneo or UP. So they were eyeing me for that. Yeah, I actually played
Wow.
for the Philippine team for a while. Then all stars for all the high
Yeah.
school teams, and then we went abroad too. We went to Indonesia, China. Yeah, it was really cool. That was a great
Wow.
experience. I was such a
Gosh.
jock in high school.
Yeah, okay. So this one is very interesting because this is the reason why I kind of like which led me to your account on Instagram
Mhm.
was when one of the pageant accounts actually shared a clip of you on NBC's Game of Games show
Yeah.
hosted by Ellen DeGeneres. So
Yes.
tell us more about this and how did you get there?
So to be on the Ellen show, you know, the actual talk show, you kind of just apply for it online.
Okay.
And after 2 years of waiting, my friends and I finally got it. And
Mhm.
when we were in line about to go in, the producers, I guess, really liked our energy because we kept laughing and,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
just
yeah.
making fun of each other. And so he asked us to audition for the Game of Games. So
Mhm.
3 Zoom interviews later, we got it.
Okay.
And yeah, that's how we ended up in Game of Games. And it was so fun. And Ellen is so beautiful in person when you see
Yeah.
her like up close. But yeah, the fun fact too, the producers tell you like, you know, you run to her and you have to be super screaming with facial expressions. But when you hug her, you have to just like, you know, hug her
Yeah.
lightly.
Okay, you cannot really like, be that rowdy kind
Teaser.
of audience. Yeah. Okay, more lighter questions before we get to the
Sure.
final three that are very serious. So, okay, favorite season and why?
Favorite season, summer.
I
I'm not
knew
a,
it.
yeah, I don't like the cold. I really just, I'm fine if I sweat, but when I'm
Mhm.
cold, that's a no-no.
Yeah, I'm actually the opposite. Like you cannot well,
Really?
I like summer when I'm on the beach, but when I'm
Mhm.
inside the house, and the Philippines are like, where we're at in Manila,
Right.
yeah, the humidity is just,
Yes.
it's like something else, it's like
Yeah. It's on another level.
yeah, I know it's another world kind of level. So yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't really actually experienced like an actual winter, but when I went to Busan, it was freezing cold, but I actually enjoyed it because like the air
Busan,
was,
Korea?
yeah, you're gonna fall
Like,
in love there, Sam. Yeah. Have
I
you
saw that
been?
movie, Train to Busan. You know, the zombie one? That was so cool.
Yeah. Well, bad example, but everything that you
Yeah.
saw in the movie,
Without the zombies.
everything that you saw in the movie
Yeah.
and everything that you see in the K dramas are actually the ones that you can actually see in the country. So yeah,
Cool.
definitely. So okay, favorite tourist destination and why?
Favorite tourist destination in the Philippines or internationally?
Maybe Philippines, yeah.
Philippines, definitely Palawan. I
Mhm.
recently just went to El Nido last year for my
Uh-huh.
birthday, and it was so amazing. I also think maybe because there was a pandemic, so no one was like in the Blue Lagoon or the Twin Lakes, and
Yeah.
so I really got to experience nature, and it's just so nice. It just makes me kilig, you know, thinking about El Nido. So yeah, El Nido for sure.
Yeah, good for you because I've been dying to have a vacation. I was invited to go to Cebu last week, and I'm like,
Yes.
no, I could not. There's just a lot of work, and you know how
Yeah.
it is with our schedules. I'm a designer of Binibini 5, and things just gets really hectic with Binibini,
Yes.
so we couldn't leave.
Yes.
So
I feel
okay,
you, sis.
yeah. So favorite dish to cook and why? Or do you know how to cook?
Yes, I have a cooking channel. Go check it out. It's
Oh,
called at White. Yeah, look at it. It's on Instagram. It's called
okay,
Wifey Worthy
okay,
Meals. Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, I love to cook. What my goal is now, I actually filmed my first episode for Wifey Worthy Meals just right
Mm.
now. Like
Wifey
30
worthy
minutes.
meals. Okay.
Yes.
So wait, before you move forward, why wifey worthy meals?
You know, I came up with this Instagram when I was in college because I started to
Mm.
love cooking. I tried different diets. I love extreme diets, so like
Okay.
keto and whatnot. So it just made sense to cook and to know what you want to put into your own body.
Right.
And so I had this one friend while I was cooking, and he was like, dang, you know, that's wifey worthy. I was like,
That
that's
could
the
be a
one.
brand.
That's the one.
Yeah. And then what is your favorite dish to cook?
So my favorite dish is actually this white cod fish
Mhm.
with a white wine reduction sauce with tomatoes, basil, and lots of garlic and lots of lemon. So I love zesty food. It sounds so social, but it's really not. It's so easy to make. And yeah, you can find it on my Instagram.
Okay, yeah, we'll check that out. And okay,
Yes.
I won't mention the kind of diet that you're going through right now, but how can you like, how can you control yourself while you're in the middle of cooking and preparing your food, and then you're on a very rigorous kind of diet?
So if you guys didn't know, I fast a lot. I won't say how many hours, but I do not recommend it for a lot of people. It works for my body. And so, do what's best for your body as well.
Yeah.
For me, I just think about okay, this sounds so, if I have a chocolate, I just imagine it inside my belly and it's like, do I really want this in there? Then yeah, that's easy for me to decide after that.
I always wanted to lose weight, Sam, because I was 220 pounds 2 years ago. So I still have excess skin fat. And every time I want to think about losing weight, I actually am in front of a restaurant's menu, and then, or go to McDonald's nearby. There's a McDonald's downstairs, or go to the nearest restaurant, especially when you're really, really busy. In my case, I'm an artist. So there's more activity in my brain rather than my body, and it's very exhausting.
Right.
So yeah. So okay, favorite song, and then and why?
Favorite?
Are you a 90s kid? No. Are you a 90s?
Of course I'm a 90s
Oh, sorry.
kid. You have to be part of Bini Bini, I think, right now.
What is happening to me?
Oh my God.
So what is your favorite song and why?
My favorite song right now is Underdog by Alicia Keys. I just think it has a lot of meaning, and she's amazing. All of the content she puts out, it's so positive, and she just gives me good juju every morning when I listen to her. But obviously, aside from Alicia Keys, I have a couple of Beyonce songs that I love.
Well, can you dance, Beyonce?
Depends.
Well, you have to dance because you're Bini Bini #1, and
I
you're
know.
actually in front of you're at the front row of every opening number and production number.
Yes,
so.
yes. But I do fire dance, so I think that really helps with my body coordination. Yeah.
Yeah.
Counts.
Okay. All right. So, okay, favorite time of the day and why?
Favorite time of the day is sunset, because I just love sunsets. Yeah, it's so relaxing. You could just read a book or and avoid traffic hour. So, it's the best time to stay in.
Yeah, I understand. And I actually don't like sunrises. I know it's romantic for a lot of people, but I'm actually a night person. Yeah. Same here. Yeah. We could get along. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So now to the very serious questions. I prepared actually just 2. Okay. So, how will you describe love to a sexually abused child?
Wow. I would describe love to a sexually abused child and tell them that, it's something good, and it's something that has to be unconditional, something that you could feel from maybe your parents or your siblings. And, it is quite hard to come across.
Yeah.
However, and you can find love wherever you look. If you want it, if you manifest it, you'll find it. Even with a dog, you can find love too. And so I just hope that person or that child doesn't always necessarily connect those 2 dots or relate it, because there are good people in this world too.
Yeah, being also a victim myself of sexual abuse, it was really hard to. Yeah, it was really hard to because sometimes being overly successful or being an overachiever is actually a form of a self-medication.
I see.
Because sexual abuse manifests in a lot of things. Others would fall into depression or some gender identity issues or a lot of things. But others, in my case, very extreme. Because I fear rejection, I feel the need for love. But yeah, thank God I got redeemed and saved. So the love
very,
of
very
God
happy for
healed
you.
me. Yeah, thank you. So. Okay, second to the last question. Okay, if given the chance to speak to God right now, what will you tell him?
I would ask God to just keep my family safe. During this time, the most important people are definitely my parents, my family, my close friends, and the people I've come to know also in this industry. And I can't pray for anything else but better health for everyone too. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the top priority always.
Right. Wow, Sam. Okay, you're now down to the last question. Which Bini crown are you aiming for and why?
So coming into Bini, I've always admired Karen Gallman, and I think that we shared kind of the same characteristics, and I always thought that I could also conquer the intercontinental stage. However, after watching Sam B's performance in Miss Grand International, wow, watching it really made me want to be a part of that production. It makes you want to fight for that same crown too. So I would have to say both of those crowns equally right now.
I think you're also qualified to get that crown. Actually, it's very confusing who to choose from this year's batch of Bini because you're all beautiful.
Yeah, there's so many amazing girls.
It gets confusing, and that's the reason why I'm not sharing any of my hot picks publicly, because all of you guys are my good friends. I've come to love everybody, and especially we're on the same camp. So, Samantha, wow, that was very quick. And thank you so much for really taking the time, because we actually attempted once, twice, and we finally got a schedule. So Sam,
yes,
being a newbie at pageantry and gaining so much traction and following from a lot of us pageant fans, what can you say to them, or any messages to your fans?
Yes, to my hashtag Sam Blazers, which I love the name, by the way. It's so cool. I just want to say thank you so much, and thank you for your support. I'm overwhelmed with so much support right now. I've never had this in my entire life. So many people rooting for me, and I just want to let you know that I'm also doing this for you, and just thank you for believing in me, because when you believe in me, I believe more in myself. So genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much.
Yeah, and then yes, there you have it, guys. So make sure to follow Samantha Panlilio on Instagram, which I'm going to put on the screen of this episode. And is there anything more that you wanted to promote, Sam? Are your food available for orders, and where can they order?
So my food is not yet available for orders.
Okay.
But please go follow my cooking channel. It's called at Wifey Worthy Meals. I will be releasing my first episode next week, so I'm very excited. A lot of dancing, actually, Jian. So you'll see some of my dance moves there. Okay. And it should just be a fun time too. So I'm also releasing my own brand. It's called Wifey Worthy Luxe. It is my bath line I'm doing with a good friend from high school. So I'm also very excited. So stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, and don't hesitate to tag me so that I could share it on my social media, on my Instagram, Facebook, whatnot. So oh my gosh, what a very quick interview with Samantha Panlilio, Bini 1 representing Cavite. So guys, thank you so much, and make sure to follow, like, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts. And thank you for watching this episode of Pageant Talks Season 2 with Samantha. Make sure that you continue supporting her. And watch out for the grand coronation night, finally, of Bini Pilipinas 2020, this coming July 11th. So stay tuned, and thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Jian.